Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brandon with 9 to 5 Tactical, and today we're out on the range and we're going to be giving you guys 5 tips on how to increase your draw speed. That would include inside the waistband and outside the waistband. So tip number 1 is prepping. Prepping is literally you are prepping to go for a draw. So this all happens before you even go for the gun or anything. If the first shot off is the finish line in a race, then this portion is you fighting your place at the starting line. So majority of people that are looking to speed up their draw, they are usually in a normal relaxed staying position right before they start to shoot. And when they actually do get into shooting, they get into a fighting stance where they actually take a step back or step forward. They lean forward, ready to absorb recoil and get the shot off. Majority of the time, that's what I see people do. They will actually take a step back and lean forward as after the beep ray goes off. What I'm trying to teach today is actually getting into that position ahead of time before you have to even go for a draw. So that means leaning forward, getting ready to brace recoil, getting your proper stance, and make sure your hand positions are in the right place. All right, so talk about the stances that I prefer. I actually prefer prep stance, which is kind of a competition. The whole point of this is to get your hands as close as possible to the gun, which is basically the starting point of a draw. So I prefer to have my hands down right here, right in front of the gun, inside the waistband. That way, as soon as the time goes, I'm ready to go for it right away. Outside the waistband, we'll show you guys how to do that as well. But just keep your hands close to the gun. That's the main goal here. One thing I wanted to also talk about is some instructors also introduce the cheater stance, where they'll actually have your hand already on the garment prepped, and then your primary hand goes right over the top of it and you're standing in a normal position like this. Completely up to you what you want to do. I just completely prefer the competition prep stance. To preface, I will go for a normal draw. Already in a stance, I'm already leaned forward, ready to absorb recoil, and we'll go on the indication here. Much faster, much smoother already. So to end it, if speed is your goal, then choose a starting position that gets you as close as possible to your gun, aka the starting line. Tip number 2, get to the gun sooner. So get to the gun sooner, what do I mean by that? Is literally after you've gotten your hand position established where you want it, is literally getting your hand to the gun as soon as possible. So to demonstrate what I was talking about as far as getting your hand to the gun as soon as possible, on the indication of beep, I'll show you guys exactly what I usually see. They'll usually go off the beep here, and just like that. So if you notice, I actually took my time getting my hand to the gun, but one thing to notice is that while the gun is in the holster, it is 100% safe. There's absolutely no reason why you can't get to that gun as soon as possible, unless you have a P320. So what I am looking for is literally as soon as the beep goes off, you're going to it immediately, as fast as you possibly can. Because remember, with it being in the holster, it is 100% safe. The only dangerous part is when the gun comes out of the holster. So in between the time from here to here, it should be 100% speed all the way through. Very fast as I possibly can. Demonstrate one more time. What I usually see people do is this. You'll notice a difference in haste is what I'm going for here. So I want you to be going as fast as you possibly can to that gun. If it's from concealment, get your garment out of the way as fast as possible and get your hands to the gun to establish the master grip around your firearm. If from outside the waistband and you have different retention levels, defeat all holster safeties as soon as possible. In a self-defense situation, you are going to have your heart pumping, you're going to have adrenaline pumping through you, you're not going to be going at a slow, relaxed pace. So if you train going max speed and turn it into muscle memory, it will help in reducing the chance of mistakes in a live scenario. All right, so tip number 3, do not overconfirm your sights. If you're a dot shooter, if you're an iron sight shooter, it does not matter what, do not overconfirm your sights. This is likely where the majority of you are losing your time when it comes to the draw. To elaborate, once you have practiced your draw enough, you should have a natural point of aim that allows your sights to come into frame upon draw. Likely what's happening is you are bringing the gun up, pausing to confirm your dots/sights, and that they are lined up before pressing your shot. If you are having trouble finding your dot upon draw, that is completely a different issue, and you should be focusing more on draw fundamentals first before trying to increase your speed. If you want to see a video about that, let us know in the comments down below. Alright, so now depending on target size, target distance, you may need to take a little bit extra time to confirm your sights to be sure that shot is going to connect. But to preface this, your draw to first shot at 5 yards should not be the same time it is at 25 yards or 50 yards and so on. The closer targets, the larger the target is, you should be going a little bit faster. This is what I usually see people do. On the beep, I'll go here. And this is me over confirming my sights. We're at about approximately 5 yard distance, and I'll talk through it. So beep, go as fast as possible and sight there, and then I take the shot. Perfectly, right in the middle. That was in a 2.79. I'm gonna go at a faster pace and show the difference in shot connection here. Draw, first shot, there, boom. As soon as I saw the dot get to the center of that target, and I'm at a 1.54 already. I already knocked off a second, almost a second and a half. As you see here, this was the first shot, this was the second one. There's not too much difference. It's still in the A zone, still a very good hit, almost half the time it takes to get the second shot off that I did the first. For red dot shooters, you will hear the term shoot as soon as you see a flash of red. Now, that doesn't mean you shoot as soon as there's an indication of red in your sight picture. What that means is your dot doesn't need to be perfectly settled in the middle for you to press the shot off. This also applies to iron sight users. Your front sight doesn't need to settle perfectly in between your rear irons to press the shot off. If you don't believe me, try next time you're at the range. You may be surprised where you're hitting. Tip number 4, prepping your trigger. Of course, everyone should be prepping their trigger upon draw, but the question we're trying to answer is, what is the reason for prepping your trigger, and at what point of the draw are you prepping your trigger? The purpose of prepping the trigger is to take up the pre-travel of the trigger as much as possible. That way you reduce the amount of human error when shooting. Remember, more distance to break equals more time. So when implementing speed, at what point during the draw do you prep your trigger? So to demonstrate what I see the majority of people do, they will go on the draw here, I'll go on the beep, draw, full presentation, fade, then goes on the trigger, and then boom, it goes just like that. So what I actually want you to be doing is prepping as the gun is coming up. So as soon as the gun comes out of the holster, face forward, finger goes on the trigger, starts prepping. That way as soon as the sights are lined up, boom, you're ready to go. There we go. As you saw, as soon as I brought the gun up, immediately broke the shot. It was immediately ready. No deviation whatsoever. It was ready to go right from the bat. What you should be doing is prepping upon presentation. That way as soon as you're fully extended and your sight comes into view with your sight picture, you can press the shot off. Now this does require a lot of control and familiarity with your firearm. Being mindful of where you are pointing the gun on presentation and being sure it is downrange at your target before you begin prepping that trigger is a necessity. Be sure to always be following the rules to gun safety, but in the words of our friend Mad Minute Tacticians, it's okay to be dangerous. Tip number 5, this is the last one here. Now this is probably the most beneficial tip of the day, is literally respond sooner. Respond to the audio cue of the timer sooner. Respond to the command to fire sooner. Respond to the indication of a threat or window of opportunity sooner. Now this is easier said than done. Obviously this is more of a test of your reaction speed, but your reaction speed can be trained. All right, so an analogy I like to use is actually I got it from Rick Crawley at QVO Tactical. What he does is he actually breaks up the beep. What that is B-E-E-P, the entire word. You break it up into tenths of a second. So the average beep time is about 0.3 of a second. So if you actually put your par timer at 0.1, it'll extend it over to basically 0.4. So that way you have a tenth of a second for each letter to go through. Majority of the time you'll see people is actually responding after the beep goes off. So if you could get your reaction speed to react somewhere on this side of the B and the E instead, you're already saving yourself a quarter of a second on your drill. So the drill you can use in aiding training your reaction time is setting your part time at 0.1. That will give you one long beep. So at the beginning of the beep, what we're going to do is we're going to have Dominic over here start drawing, and at the end of the beep he's going to pause. That way we completely isolate his reaction speed at draw. So Dom, you ready?
Yep.
As you can see with Dominic, throughout this drill you can see his reaction time and his speed getting faster and faster on that draw. And that's what we're going for. Again. Stand by. There we go. Good. After you understand how to respond sooner, see how much faster your draw has become with this tip alone. Stand by. That concludes this video. Make sure to get out to the range and get good. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you found these tips helpful in speeding up your draw and want to see more videos like this in the future, please leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.